yes. Hello, come on. Yeah. Uh, got a good show tonight. Uh, Ray Merriman, welcome to the show. No doubt. Come on. Yes, indeed. Yes. I got a good show tonight. And an old friend, a good friend. And he's going to take us through his journey on what's been happening with him and what's going down the road, what's coming down the road. And it should be exciting. I'm excited about it. I'll tell you that. It's all good. I'm here in Far Rockaway in New York, and just the weather, it's been crazy. The rain, the heat, the humidity, all that. And I think we all experiencing certain elements of the weather. It's nothing you can do, nothing can avoid it. But that's just the way it jumps off. But yeah, like I said, I have Ray Merriman, and you know what? Let's get into it, man. Let's just not prolong it any further, and let's see what Ray's got to talk about. Let's see what's going on with Ray Merriman. Bring him to the forefront of the stage, and let's see what's going on in the world and the life of Ray Merriman. Tell me about Ray Merriman. What's good, baby?
What's good, boys? How you doing?
I'm good. Everything is everything, man. Trying to get it together on this end, and I'm having a little struggles, but it's all good. Like I said, you know, just trying to keep everything in focus here, and I'm looking at my side, but you look good, huh? Ray Merriman looks good.
Thank you.
That's what it's all about today. Yeah, that's what we're going to focus on. That's what I'm going to concentrate, and we're going to do it that way. But yeah, let's see who's hey, Karen Bowden. What's up, Karen? Always a welcome, always a pleasure. I got Ray, and before we jump off to anything serious, you're in Orange County, am I correct?
Yes.
And the name of your town?
It's town of Walkill.
Walkill.
Yeah,
Okay. Is there any significance behind the name? The town of Walkill. You're in the second ward in Wardkill.
Yes. Well,
I know.
You understand, there is a Walkill, and we're the town of Walkill.
All right, but there's two different.
Yeah.
You're in the town of Walkill, and you're in Town Council Ward 2.
Yep, that's what I'm running for.
That's what you're running for. And what are you running for?
What you mean?
You said Town Council. Exactly what is that? What specific duties do you have as Town Council?
Town Council is kind of like, we are the liaison between our neighbors, like the people who live in our ward, and the town supervisor. So when people have complaints or things that need to be done, or they feel that they have a complaint about, let's say their road is not, they got potholes in it, they would contact me, and then when we sit down and talk, I would let that be known to the supervisor that these are the things that the people in my ward are complaining about, or not. I wouldn't even say complaining, but they bring it to our attention that needs to be fixed. And then we also say,
like a liaison, or you're in the middle.
I would consider it more. Mm-hmm. It's more of the voice for the community in Ward 2. And each one of us, it's 4 wards, so each person in each ward has their own specific people that would come to them. And since I represent Ward 2, my ward would come to me. And then we take it to the supervisor when we sit down and have the meetings and say, hey, this is what needs to be done. And then we sit down, we talk about how it gets paid, where the money comes from. those sort of
Okay.
things.
All
I
right.
mean, it's more
So
elaborate than that, but that's the simple way to explain it.
that's the gist of it, pretty
Yeah.
much. So is this your first uh, run for in
Yep.
elections? This is your first.
First time.
All right, because you look good. You look very like you look the part. I was going to say presidential, but
Well,
you look.
I want to look the part, but I also want to do the part. It's not. I don't want it to just be, hey, he looks it,
Oh
but
no,
can't do
no,
it.
no! What did he just say? What did he just say? Not only look the part, he want to do the part. I like that. That's what's up. That's got to be your campaign slogan as well. I not only look the part, I'm going to do the part. Huh? Yeah, that's a great campaign slogan as well. No, and you look good there.
Thank you.
Uh huh. Almost deaf. And I see you here. You actually pressing our palms. You're on the on the campaign.
Yeah,
This is he part of
that's Bruce Blakeman. He's running for governor.
governor? Okay,
Yeah.
of New York State.
Yep.
Okay.
I believe it is. The picture's kind of small, but it looks like him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that politics is and this is the at the midterms. This is November the 3rd,
Yes.
and your party affiliation is
I'm Republican.
you're Republican.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. Yeah, man. I mean, look, a
It
lot
got
of
New York,
people
huh?
say certain. Yeah, I know, man. But it's what do they say? It is what it is, man. So, uh, you've been a Republican your whole adult life
No,
since you started to vote.
no. I was maybe 2 to 3 years ago. I switched.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's probably 2 to 3 years ago.
Any reasoning?
Well, let me explain it like how the best I could say. When I first, when we go out to vote, what we're taught is you got to vote Democratic. Always vote the Democrat line. As I started to, get of age and started looking, I realized a lot of the Democratic stuff don't align with my ideals. Now, don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
there are some things I agree with, but a lot of it I don't. Just like in the Republican thing, there's some stuff that I say, that could be tweaked, but it's this, it's to me, it's a party that I represent, but that don't make me the person. And a lot of times people look at you and go, oh, you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, and they don't look at you as the person.
Well, yeah, but that's really what it comes down to a lot of times. The line, the idealistic as far as Democrat and Republican, independent,
Mm-hmm.
and that type of thing. Democrats are supposed to be a certain uh, way. I don't want to say because everybody's different.
Yeah, but you can say
No, well, Democrats are supposed to be a little bit more. Uh, for the people, if you will. That's yeah, is that a misconception or
it sure is.
Republicans care about the people
Yeah,
or
that's the biggest misconception. See, people
mm-hmm.
people look at it, they'll look at a president or they'll look at a governor and they'll think, oh, on a state level, that this is how everybody is, But in reality, it's not. On a local level, we're not voting on, what's best for, like, let's say I could say the constitutional stuff. On our level, that's not what we're voting on. On the local level, you voting on what affects you immediately. And it's stuff like taxes going up, It's stuff like how your police department is going to be run and how your first responders are going to be taken care of. That's the stuff that immediately affects people. And most people, today they get so focused on what's happening on the state and federal level that they don't pay attention to what's happening locally, where that's what's more important to people. And to me, that's more now to get that message out. Yeah, I understand you need to know what's going on with the state and federal, but also pay attention to what's going on that's happening right now on the level it affects you at the very moment. Because when something is voted on, let's say right now they're talking about raising our taxes here. That's not going to happen, down the line. That's going to happen as soon as the supervisor signs that paper. When the tax rollout comes up, that's where our taxes go up immediately. What happens on the state and federal might take a little while before it trickles down to us. Next year, come October, when they put out the statement for the tax year, we find out in October, hey, this is where your taxes are going to be for the next year.
So you say the vote goes down actually in your party in October?
No, the voting happens in November. What I'm saying is,
No, I mean the voting, but I mean when the bill is passed, when the bill is signed,
I'm just saying,
it's October.
Who knows when the supervisor decides that he wants to sign a bill that says, "Hey, your taxes is going to go up." That's the talk right now.
Okay.
I just said I know around here when we get our tax bill for the year, it comes in around October, early October, late October, where it's like, hey, this is what your bill, your property tax is going to look like for this year.
Right. Okay.
And right now they're talking, we got a current supervisor that's saying he's going to raise it. So, those are the things that we have to focus on. I totally understand, wanting to see what's going on the state and federal level, but we can't forget about what's going on right here at home.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times
that's the main thing.
You can make those complaints to the state and local level, but that's going to get brushed off. It's going to be like, you know what, you live in Orange County, I'm up in Albany. I don't have to listen to you. I'll take it. I'll take a note of it, and you will probably need, for somebody in Albany to hear you, you probably have to need more than 1 million votes to get them to listen to you. Well, right here on the local level, it might take a few hundred, for them to understand. Oh, wait, I don't want my taxes going up. It's that simple.
Because I had some notes, right? I was in regards to like the taxes and stuff like that, and so your whole platform, what's platform you're running on? What's Ray Merriman? Where's he at as a candidate? And how many people are you running against?
One.
What's on just one other? Okay,
it's the current guy. He's the incumbent that's in the council.
He's the incumbent. Mm-hmm. How long's he been in the office?
Unfortunately for him, he got cut short a year because the governor changed the voting process so it lands on the same time as the governor votes. So normally it would fall next year. But what they voted, had a change in the way the election falls. Now everybody has to run and do the election at the same time as the governor and the president.
So your platform, I see it. I'm going to put that sign up again as safe neighborhoods.
The safe streets, strong neighborhoods.
Safe streets, strong neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, what makes you qualified for this position? I know you were a career Navy man. You were in the Navy, But what does Ray Merriman? Who are you?
As a person, I would say I care about this. I care about where I live at. I'm a community person, and what happens is, I grew up in a neighborhood where we took care of each other. There was no such thing as, if we seen some kid out there doing something they shouldn't be doing, the parents in the neighborhood would be like, yo, they would tell you, hey, that's not what you're supposed to do. They tell your parent, and we looked out for each other as a community. And that's what I want to, what we have to do here in the town of Walk Hill. We have to make sure that our police are they understand that they're going to be protected, taken care of. Our first responders are going to be taken care of, because if you don't take care of them, how do they protect and take care of you? Also,
that's real.
Also, I'm a firm believer in mental health, and safety starts with mental health. It's if you make it safe and take away the stigma of the mental health, where people are safe to say, hey, I'm going through something, instead of attacking them, you could fix that, because now you got people who are willing to say, you know what, I need help. Point me in a direction. It don't cost any money to say, hey, let me point you in a direction where you can get help. Because now you don't have somebody who got problems and they just want to take it out on everybody, because they feel like nobody's going to listen. And we have to be an open ear, and that starts with leadership. That starts with the people that on top. And I plan on being that person to say, hey, it's all right. It's nothing wrong with that, because it's too much. It's a stigma that's unfortunately doesn't create a safe environment.
I like what Karen says, and I like what you said as well. A good answer. Good.
I agree, Karen.
Good response.
And that's another thing that's missing. Before I started doing this, I would get somebody knock on my door. Only time I would see them is when they would knock on my door to sign a petition so that they could get on the ballot. That'd be the one and only time I see them. I plan on doing it different. You're not going to see me just because I knocked on your door and I'm knocking on your door for a vote. I'm handing people, here's my business card, my telephone number. If I'm elected into office, you have access to me. So now if you have an issue, you got a number. You ain't got to call the office. You ain't got to keep dialing the phone and getting transferred all over the place. You got a direct line to me. So now you talk to me, I can say, hey, what's your issue? And point you in a direction to get it done. And a lot of times it's that simple process eases people, because at one point I had this pothole in front of my house, which is still there. And this past 6 months, 7 months, I got the runaround. It was like, oh, all right, yeah, well, somebody will come out to get it. Somebody will look at it. I've had people come out, look at it, and then fix somebody else and be like, oh, no, I'll fix that. It was like, no, you didn't. So eventually.
Basically, go ahead. Eventually.
I end up, a lot of times I ended up fixing this pothole myself. It's right at the edge of my driveway. So every time I come out, I'm banging into it, And what happened was, it was
so basically you're running for because you were frustrated.
Yeah, but more so, it's not only frustrated for me. If I'm going through it, my frustration, I could imagine what a lot of the community is going through. So, standing to the side and saying, you know what, I'm not going to do anything doesn't help. And what it was a guy who knocked on my door. He was running for supervisor. And what impressed me about him is he didn't just knock once. He knocked again. He came back. He knocked again. His name was Ralph. He knocked more than once, and he came back. And one time, he left a note on my garage door to come to a meeting. Unfortunately, on my garage door, when I pull into my driveway, it goes up. I didn't see it. It took me a week or so before I realized it. And he stopped by again. When he realized that I didn't answer it, he came back. And me and him got to talking. And he was like, hey, get involved. And that's what started it. He pointed me in the direction on where to go. And those were the kind of communication that weren't happening when people would come to my door. They would just say, all right, sign my petition. I go to ask them questions and all that. They didn't have any answers and they run off.
Mm.
You know, I'm not running.
So yeah, this here, I put this poster up. You have a fundraiser on August the 1st,
Yep.
uh, from a 1 to 3, and to get everybody in, you go a slice and a smile, and like when you go out and you're doing your campaigning, you pressing palms, are you kissing babies and such? You
Nah,
doing
that's the
that?
president's. That's fake politics.
The old
That's what
traditional stuff.
that's politics for TV. No, this is not
It's
TV politics.
but yeah, as you stress, it's local. It's a local situation. It's a local thing, up in Walk Hill. Now I know a little bit about like Orange County, like right off 84 exit 16 Middleton,
Middletown, yeah.
right 17.
Hmm.
You can take seven. Yeah, middle. Oh, it's Middletown. Oh,
Yeah.
that's exit 16, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, because I know I was up there a couple of times, and yeah,
Exit 16.
yo,
You know,
man, right? But that Middletown is
well, from
16,
Middletown,
right up for
exit
84,
120.
right? Is that 84?
Yeah,
It's
120.
120. But
Hmm.
isn't that near the? I forget what park that was, Middletown. But are you near 84? Is that near 84
Yeah.
or
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're
for
right. You're right. It's
17?
on the other town. It's not 16. No, I think it's that's
You know what I'm talking about?
um I know what you talk about. Yeah, I don't go
Yeah.
down 84 too much because I'm local. I drive through the town.
Is that 17?
No, it's eight. You're right. It's
Is that
84. I
84?
get off on
Okay.
117, but if you know if I'm going through the town, I normally get off on the exit where I live at and then go through town. I don't go up 84.
No doubt. And welcome, James Perkins. God bless you, brother. Welcome to the show. No doubt. I have a sister. Her name is Teresa Elsley. Do you know her, Ray? Have you ever? Is she in the?
That's
Is
my
she in the
wife.
county? What? Say
Yeah.
what? I thought you was married to Lady. Oh snap! What's up? Welcome, Lady Miss Ray Merriman from War 2. She got your back, no doubt. And James, I haven't seen you in a minute, brother. God bless you. Welcome. It's been a minute. And Karen, what did Karen say? You know, because Karen can be a real Karen sometimes. You know that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Karen says, if someone asks me to sign the declaration form, they better answer my questions first. I don't sign. It's a legal document. That is that a legal document? What she's
Yeah,
saying
once
is
you put your
correct?
signature on it, that's
The
legal.
declaration. Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, once
Okay.
we turn it in, it has to be notarized. Everything we have to notarize the fact that we saw every person who signed it. We officially saw that signature.
So you had to do that with the petitions.
I had to knock on.
You have
I had
to.
to knock on doors.
Was it mandatory a certain amount that you needed to go forward with the process?
Yeah, for my ward, it was like 58.
Okay. Yeah, and Karen, you know, she brought that point out, and Lady Miss Teresa, your wife, says, "I said I better leave Karen alone." Laugh out loud. I'm not messing with Karen. She already know. Uh, we got got it covered. This section. Uh, any other things like with the fundraisers that you have lined up that you have?
Yeah, I have this fundraiser is for a lot of times when we doing this, it's coming out of my pocket. So it was suggested, hey, get a little fundraiser, and people who want to donate or help me fund my campaign, they'll come, they'll pay the $40, or I got another link that they could send money to that helps me with my campaign also. So, I didn't send that to you, but I can add it to the comments.
Add it to the comments.
Okay.
Let me
But
see
yeah,
if I type it out. And your wife, she asked, Lady Miss, what's the process of running? Good question.
well, the in order to get on in the process, you got to be with whatever party you in. You have to be a part of their committee. They have to feel like you gonna represent that committee well enough to run. They have to feel comfortable that you're gonna represent this committee and not do anything and make them look bad. Then you got to go through um, getting your petition signed, getting all of that information. That requires walking in. When I had to do it, it was cold outside, so we had to get out. We had to walk in the cold. Some days people weren't home, so we have to come back, and then it's more of a process of that. After you get the petition signed and you turn them in, you might have a little break, and then it's straight into campaign mode. It's like now I'm knocking on doors. I'm letting people know that, hey, I'm on the ballot. Um, if people have questions, I answer them questions. I've had people tell me that the issues they have in the neighborhood that's been ignored. So I'm taking note of that also. So when what I've learned in doing this is people want to be heard. They want to feel like a lot of times I've knocked on doors and people were just happy that someone actually knocked on their door and asked for their vote. It was they was like, I appreciate this because nobody's done it. I've been here. I had a lady tell me she's been here 15 years and nobody's ever knocked on her door.
How long have you been in the community? How long
I've
have
been here
you been?
21 years.
You've been in 21. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. And so you've seen like a decline in, like you said, you had a pothole in front of your residence, and you went out to fix it. You fixed it. You took care of the problem yourself personally. So uh, that's some of the part of why you're running, as you said, frustrated over those situations, those matters and stuff, which is
Mm-hmm.
the fact. Okay, now it's a 2 year position.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
You
you.
said this guy's been in office 1 year. You said it's a 2 year,
Mm-hmm.
uh, right? The incumbent now, he's
Yeah, it's a
been in
2 year.
office, as you said, 1 year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he got beat out of 1 year, basically. But
Mm-hmm.
it's 2 years,
Yeah.
right? So you would hold it down, and you can run after the 2 years, after you are voted in, and this is all part. Now, all right, it's local. So here I'm in New York. I'm in Far Rockaway district called Far Rock. That wouldn't be on my ballot for the midterms, no.
Not for town of Walk Hill, no. You would vote on the governor and whatever positions that are running in your city at the time. I think it's not the mayor this year for y'all, so it's probably like your local representatives for that's coming up. But the town of Walk Hill,
Alexa,
for,
who's running for the in the midterm election for New York State?
for the state.
New York's 2026 midterms include open state Senate seats. Jarrett Gandolfo in the 7th and the 15th, Chris Teague in the 102nd, and House races such as Michael J. Lee Petrie Jr. R. versus Thomas Swazi D. in District 3.
So there's no say.
Was that meant for me?
Yeah, it is. The governor running and the mayor. So this midterm is more local.
Yep. There's a governor's race on the 2020 ballot. Kathy Hochul, D versus Bruce Blakeman, R. And these elections are largely centered on state and local offices like the Senate, Assembly, and municipal seats.
Thanks, Alexa.
You're welcome. Happy to help with the election info.
So is this it? Is this it here, Ray? What you just put up?
Yeah, that's that link.
Okay, and Karen wants to know, are you walking in any parades?
I did for 4th of July, and that was an event.
All right, let it show here. It's WTTPS secure dot what is it? winred.com / friends of Ray Merriman / donate today.
Yeah, it was a hash. It's a more. Damn, I just forgot what that is. It's a dash between each one of them, between each word, and then the slash and the donate / today.
Okay. And you have this as the campaign, but can people donate anything they want, or do they have to come with a certain amounts that's there? The question is, can people donate? Is there a specific amount that you require as far as a donation?
No,
If I wanted to donate,
you could donate what you want. I believe there's a custom button there where you can put whatever you want to put there. There are numbers, amounts on there for you to choose, and then there is if I remember right, because when I set it up, it was a custom button also. So you could, if you could vote, if you want to donate $1, he's like, here's $1,
So yeah, so there's no limits. You can, it's whatever, yeah.
I think it's up to 1,000.
And the platform you're
I
running.
don't think you could donate more than.
And the least amount is $1, if you so choose to. So every bit counts, even if it's $5, correct?
Yep, it does. And I'm gonna be, to me, I'm gonna appreciate it if you take your time and donate $1 to me. I'm appreciative because that means you believe in me. Even if to take $1 and say, hey, I'm gonna donate to you, that means you believe in what I'm doing.
And your wife is asking me, and Teresa Elderly is asking me a lot of the questions that I've asked already, which is all good. She wants to know, what are you running on? Let's get that square away again. She wants to know. Check it out. Let me show it. I love it. She says, "What is he running on?" Okay, good question. Huh? I asked you what you were running on.
Yeah, you did.
Right?
If she want me to repeat
it, yeah, repeat it. What is he running on? Yeah, answer it again. So
I believe in. I'm running on the safety of the town of Walk Hill. I'm running on safer streets. Investing in our police department and our first responders, taking care of our police department and first responders. What I also left out, I'm glad she did ask that question, is taking care of our youth and, investing in our youth. Because, we have a youth program, but, it's not supported like it's supposed to be. And it's unfair to the woman that's running it. And it's unfair to the kids because it's like, hey, we're not important enough. The kids are not, our kids are not important enough to say, hey, let's invest in them a way that counts. Not handle, right, but make them a permanent part of the budget, but make it enough that they don't, you don't have to continue to keep going back and asking, hey, I need more money. No, this and that's a failure on the supervisor now, because it's like, hey, you're supposed to make sure, if you know that these things need money, you should make that a part of your planning. And our youth, just like our police department, just like our first responders, are also important, because if we take care of our youth, you know what happens? They don't end up in the police department or somewhere where our ambulance or somebody has to deal with them, because we understand it. They're doing something positive. And when you invest in our children, they end up doing more positive than negative.
Well, yes. And you said you appreciated the fact that she asked the question, but did you appreciate the fact that I first asked the question?
Yeah,
How about that? How about bring me a little? Yeah. What about me? About me?
I appreciate the fact that you're taking this hour. Excuse me. You taking and giving me an hour.
She came late. No doubt. But you know what? She even fessed up that she came late, huh? What about that? She came late. Yeah. She's sorry. She said she's sorry she missed it. But it's all good. I'm just playing around. But you're just getting all the pertinent issues in regards to what platform you're running on. We covered that. And we've got some. What else in regards to fundraising and stuff? All right. This is Council for Ward 2. All right. How many people are in your covers your district? Ward 1 is where? Ward 3 is where? 2, you're in Wallkill. Let's cover that.
Each one of those wards are all a part of Wallkill, the town of Wallkill. Every single one of those wards. So, off the top of my head, I can't tell you how many people are in each ward, but I can tell you we have about 44,000 registered. We have about 44,000 people in the town.
Right, that's a lot of people, though.
Mm-hmm.
A lot Picasso, welcome, brother. Very talented, a lot Picasso in the house.
What up, Lotto?
Yo, no doubt, 100% lot. And Lady Miz wants to know, am I going to donate? And you know what? The answer that she put me dead on the spot. She just didn't no punches. Yeah, she just came. So George Mason, are you going to donate? I mean, damn, now I have to. Huh? Well, you said $1 at least, right? I got you.
Everything counts, man. Like I said, for somebody to take $1 means that $1 you trust, you're investing and say, hey, you're investing in because when this happens, this is coming out of my pocket. So what you're saying is, here's $1. That's one less dollar that I have to take out of my pocket.
I feel you. So it's like doing these shows and stuff like that. I gotta, it's not a lot of money, but I still gotta hustle up some, to get this up and running. And I invested in some stuff, and I gotta reinvent and do other things. So yeah, as you said, every penny, every bit counts, and that's what's up. And this is going to help you here. This fundraiser is just one. This is one, and I'm sure many of fundraisers that you got planned.
Because unfortunately, with doing this kind of stuff, you need money. You
need money, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. And when I would tell you a little story. When I first decided to do this, I was thinking way high. It's like, I want to be a senator. And the lady that I was speaking to in the board of elections, she brought me down to earth in a nice, eloquent way. It was like, hey, that's do you know how much money it requires to go that far up without knowing anybody? And
okay, all right.
And she said to me, she's like, you should start local. Start local, get known, get people to know you, and then you can see where you go from there. And then after,
she put you on game.
She's humble.
She put you on game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it
So
made me
the
come,
thing
when
is,
I walked out of there, I had a real picture, you know, instead of going in there with my head in the sky, you know.
Cameron says, utilize your citizen rights and vote. Picasso, he said, what's up? What's good? Y'all, Miss, Lady Miss, George, and Ray. Everything good. A lot. He's trying to get Ray uh, in office so he can, do what he needs to do. The potholes. Any more potholes on your block? And for no,
Man, my
right? You
whole my whole neighborhood is complaining about the our street. You know, from what I understand, I moved into this neighborhood 11 years ago. This neighborhood, it has the same street from when they built it 20 years ago. You know, actually
you
no,
should send me
it was
some
built. It
pictures.
was 26 years ago because this neighborhood was built in 2020. So about 26 years. This has the same street. So you know, people were telling me the only thing they've done was come in and you'll see they do some um tar or something so to cover up the lines and cover the cracks, but they haven't fixed it. So you know, people looking, it's like now it's time for a new street because we're gonna eventually have those problems that a lot of neighborhoods are having where the street is falling apart. And just
Uh-huh.
my the front of my driveway is just the start of what's gonna happen to the neighborhood.
Okay. So you're allocated a budget, I'm pretty sure, as you know, over the council for Ward 2. You'll definitely
What
have
you
a
mean a
budget. Are
budget?
you responsible for it, or you have a budget for like those type of things with the potholes and
Yeah,
to oversee like the first spot? Hmm.
the town, yeah, every town has a budget on how much they're gonna spend. You know, it's more about if you're gonna actually, you know, first is making sure that you're gonna have the money to take care of it. You know, what what we have now is we're being told that there is no money, which is not true. You know, when the supervisor won the last time, he said $40 million was stolen. It's stolen. You know,
Wait,
now,
hold up. He said 40. Wait. Slow down. So he said $40 million was stolen.
yeah, $40 million. It's impossible. How could you miss? You would have to be, and I can't see.
Would you be responsible for that 40 mil if
No,
you got in?
no, it's not.
Okay,
It was
that's what I'm
BS.
saying.
It's BS. It was never stolen. It was what it was a story to get people riled up to vote for him, and it worked. You know, he made promises about finding the 40 million and returning it, and it's never happened. You know, he got they did a little political ploy that fell flat. You know, he got the state to give him to give the town $4 million. He bragged about it, and it didn't go nowhere because $4 million is not going to replace 40 million. If you got $40 million stolen, $4 million is not even not going to do it. It's not even going to dent that, you know, to replacing 40 million. And to think, even if it would $40 million being stolen would be easily recognized when you do your budget. When the town is doing the budget, you're gonna find, hey, 40 million. This is even
Who's responsible for that money? That's what I'm trying to find out, Ray.
well,
Who's responsible
overall,
for?
overall, it's the supervisor.
So the supervisors, it is the treasury. Is that part of the treasury, right?
Yes,
The
but
treasurer, the
it
40 million, it's got to be accounted for. It's got to come through that.
yeah,
The supervisor oversees that, but then you got the treasurer is the one who's telling you the dollars and cents. He does the A's and B's of the whole financial package and stuff. But you have to sign off on that. No,
he would have to.
he
He,
would sign off on that. Okay,
yeah,
but
it's it
you're responsible as well. No.
no, because all I'm what I have as a councilman, I have no access to money. If I was I have no access to bank accounts, anything that falls between the the supervisor and whoever he has to make sure that the money goes where it needs to go. All he does is sign checks.
Okay.
Like I said, it's not true. Overall, it's not true.
But isn't the council person? Do you oversee that? That's what I'm trying to establish or trying to find out. Really,
No,
you
what
know,
we see.
Lady Miss, she asked, so what's the first thing you plan on doing if he wins and gets in office? That's another part of that question. All right. So as far as overseeing that money, the 40 million, I'm worried about that 40 million, babe. Who got that?
Nobody.
Who got that?
It's BS.
Okay.
It's a political ploy. You know, when people hear money missing, it's gonna rile people up. And it worked. But now he got in.
It worked.
And he can't prove it. You know, he's now having issues trying to prove it.
Ah, okay. Let me put that back up for you. Your where you can send money. You don't do the Cash App thing or anything. That's not part of the.
No, I don't mess with Cash App and that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but that's it. Secure winred.com/friends of Ray Merriman /donate space today. So that's the site there. It can be funds can be sent there, money can be sent there, and so all right. And the first thing that you plan on doing when you get in?
Well, first thing we're gonna do is what I'm working with, and I understand our whole team is gonna work in making sure our books for the town are closed. Because without having the books closed, we can't say, hey, we can't even give a legit budget until we know what we have the budget with. You know, and unfortunately, that's another thing our supervisor promised, and this was he would promise that the books will be closed in April or May. We in July, you know, so that still hasn't happened.
And the books are still open. Yeah,
still open. You know, that was another thing he ran on. He ran on that, hey, you know, that's why we don't have any money, because they're not closing the books. I'm gonna get all of this stuff done, and it's not happening. Like I said, a lot of it.
And he never did it. He never did that. He made a lot of empty promises and stuff. So he basically just was politicking. He just did what politics.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I get it. But now you can't. You know what I don't like, that, you know, and I see it through politics all the time. It's, let's blame the last administration for all the mistakes. No. January 1st, when you took over, it's your job now. You can't look back, because especially if you ran on all of that to fix it. Now you got January 1st, day one, you walk in that office, that is your problem. You can no longer look back at the administration before and put it on them. You ran on it. Stand on it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I see like part of the bio that you had sent me about the transparent. You wanted, you believe government to be transparent, and so, you know, I hear you, I feel you. So do you have a staff when you come in, like you're elected, right? Once you come in, you take over. Is there a staff in place already, or do you bring?
No, what it is, the town has regular employees, right? So the employees that help run the town are going to always be there. My job is to come in, like I said, is sit down and be a liaison for the people in my ward, and then bring it back when we have our weekly meetings, saying, hey, this is what I have going on. This is what I understand is going on in the community. Have that conversation with the supervisor, and we're the liaison for the people. They come to me, I take it to the supervisor. The town, everybody who works in the town, they do their job. My job is to come in and be a voice for the people of the town of Walk Hill and my ward.
Okay. So the people, basically their jobs is safe. when you come in.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, that's not
And
my
so
now. I don't know how that how that would work. 'Cause, you know, with unions and stuff like that, you can't. You know, I doubt you could just walk in and fire somebody who's in a union. You got to go through protocols and all of that. And
yeah, the union, right? I
but
know.
other than
Yeah.
that, you would have to really be messing up and you know, walking in on day one and going, I don't want you here, is not something that I think anybody can do.
Okay. All right.
And not
So
and,
people.
and not for nothing. I don't think I wouldn't. I don't think the Jill Wilkins who's running for supervisor has that attitude either. And it's like, hey, we understand we understand you have a job to do. Do you know, as long as you're doing your job and making sure it's done right, nobody's gonna be you know, standing over your shoulder with a whip. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you
So
know,
everybody's
speaking
sick.
of this.
Everybody has to do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, and speaking of that, you know, the lady who's, you know, the lady I'm running with, to town supervisor, um, she, when you look at her and compare her to the guy that's in office now, she's 70 years old. She's way more outgoing. She has way more charisma. She she knows how to bring a community together. She's been an advocate in this community for 30 plus years with a food pantry. So
okay.
she knows what it does to take care of a community. And she does it. Working with her, we all understand this is not going to be partisan politics. This is going to be, hey, it doesn't matter what you are, Democrat, Republican, Independent. You are part of the town of Walk Hill. So we are working with you, and we're going to make sure that nobody feels like, oh, because I'm a Democrat, you're leaving me out. And right now, that's kind of
Okay.
what's happening now. You got a
Yeah.
Democrat supervisor who's in office, and they're running it like, I don't care about if you were friends of somebody who's a Republican or something, you're not getting anything done. And it's that's not how you run a town. I don't, you know, and that's to me, and I'm a speaking as an adult. This high school. That's something you would
Yeah.
expect from a high school, you know, and not to insult
Yeah.
high schoolers, but that's childlike mentality. And
So like
we
your
should,
ward. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
no, we should run it like adults, and that's what with running with Jill is we understand. You know, it's an understanding that we working with an adult. We understand, you know, and she one of the things that we all know understand working with her. She don't want yes man around her. If you see something that could be corrected, let her know. She don't want you to be scared to say, hey, this needs to be a change. And that's what you need. You don't get anything done when you got you got a party that's scared to say anything to you. And now nothing is getting done because they all yes man. They just running with whatever thing you tell them is going to okay, because they're afraid that you're not going to support them. That's not how it
Right.
works.
Yeah. You know, of course, like that lady that put you on game, what she said to you, like basically like start at this level before you think about, you
Right.
know, going up. And yeah, because that was smart, you know, and she was you know, she was looking out for you. She did you a solid. Your
Yeah, she
wife,
did.
Miss yeah, Miss Teresa Elsley, Lady Miss, she asks
It's
us why
easy.
is it important for people. Miss what did I say? Elsley?
Yeah.
She told me to say easily. Yes, that's she told me to call it easily. No. All right, it's Elsley. I'm playing around. Teresa Elsley. All right, great. Thank you. Why is it important? She wants to know. Teresa Elsley says, Lady Miss, why is it important for people to understand what's going on locally? Along with that,
Wow.
right? Don't answer that yet. Or she says,
Mhm.
why is it important for people to understand what's going on locally? And I wanted to know your ward, the district. What is it report like? What's more Democrats, more Republicans, or independent? What line are they? Is your ward spread out?
My ward is now mostly Democrat, so I have kind of an uphill battle when it comes to winning. But I don't think it's hard because, you know, as I'm knocking on doors, people are responsive, whether they, when I speak to Democrats, they're not, I've had a few people like, oh, you're a Republican, close the door. I've had more of Democrats listen and say, you know what, I'm gonna consider, I'm gonna consider voting for you. And that's important, because you know what, if when you look at that, that means that they trust me, or they've learned, they've heard enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna give them a shot. Whether it turns into a vote or not, that's for election day. But as long as I keep knocking and they see me, and I'm there, I'm not. What it is I'm not afraid to talk. I'm not afraid to address an issue. So, when the idea is just to say, hey, at this level, get to know me and not the party I'm with. Look at who you're voting for, because unfortunately, and I'm gonna say this, and it's been done, but since I've realized knocking on the doors, because this is a mostly Democrat area, that the Democrats are not knocking on doors. They're not knocking on enough. So they got the idea, and they got the idea that we got this in the bag because the Democrats are gonna vote for us regardless. My thing is,
so they're taking it for granted as well.
Yes, and
they're basically taking it for granted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna change that. It's, to me, I like the idea of understanding that this might be a little bit of a challenge for me. I take challenges head on. So, I'm continuing. I'm out here knocking the doors, and I think the biggest, I know it's working because they're stealing my signs. You know what? I got my signs out on the street, and they're stealing them. Because they have nothing. They have nothing for to run on. So they see it. People are recognizing. They're seeing my signs. I'm knocking in their door. They're putting one and one together. So now they're stealing my signs. So that's the biggest issue I'm having with them right now, is they won't leave my signs alone. And that's another childlike thing you got to deal with. Instead of taking my sign, put your sign out there. I'm open to you. I'm not afraid of you putting your sign out. But that's the kind of stuff that happens.
You making noise. Your presence is being felt, and it seems like you're in the community, and people are taking you serious, and that's a good thing. And listen, you got the things happening, and so Karen says that's vandalism, and all that costs money. And signs that you got to do, and you're talking about what money can be raised on this level right now, and for the reason why, because you have to replace the signs. You're doing fundraisers.
Yep.
There's, like you say, it's a campaign. It needs money. Like that lady put you on. You don't do. You realize the amount of money that for the levels that you were thinking on. And she said, "Listen, start here, and then let's see how it goes." And now you're getting a feel of what's needed, how these things are run, how it's being handled. And you got a dude who's in there who's walking around with $40 million, man. He's, we got to try to find this guy, like you and I, and we get together and let's try and get this guy. And let's go after this guy. I got people who can, make some moves, Ray. If we got to run this guy down, the $40 million guy.
You ain't gonna find him because it's not something that exists. It's not even real.
It didn't even happen. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
I think a lot of it, when I first started doing this, my wife and Jill, when I first started doing this, I was coming in, normal, but what they suggested was like, hey, put a shirt and tie. I come in with a shirt, some slacks on, but I never put on a tie. I started wearing the tie, and then they started paying more attention to me. So I didn't go into, when I started going to these events, and they saw me come in there with a suit and tie, and I'm looking at the people who's supposed to represent our town, and they're in street clothes. You the supervisor. You should never. I could see it if you at a baseball game or something. You're not gonna wear a suit and tie there. But any event where you showing you got to represent the town, they sitting on the board meetings and they in street clothes. That's not how you represent your town. You walk into you sitting on a board meeting. You're supposed to be dressed up. When you see the two Republicans there, they're dressed up. They're representing the town the way it's supposed to be represented. These guys show up, like I said, they look like they just got off of work. You know, it's just like
because they probably did, like you said, they take his stuff for granted.
yeah, they don't
You
come
know,
in,
so they come
represent
however.
the town the way it's supposed to be.
They don't do professional. You know, they coming in like, hey, like you said, they come like off of work and they think they got it locked into the bag, but you're representing. So yeah, I think we covered the basics. You want to come back and then go over things and get some more pictures, and you have other fundraisers. We're in what is this? July now. Your your vote is in November the 3rd.
Yeah, we
You
got
want to come
another.
back? Let me know what's good for you.
We have another campaign coming up. I mean, a fundraiser for our whole committee on September 27th. Let me make sure I got that right date, but I believe it's September 27th. Our whole committee, and it's at Aspire up here. So we have that fundraiser. You know, we've had meet and greets. Yeah, September 27th from 1 to 3. You know, it's a $50 to get in, but it's not like a typical fundraiser. You come in, we have for 2 hours, we have the facility to, it's going to be a band playing there, axe throwing. We trying to make it fun while at the same time letting people meet letting people meet the candidates that's running for office. So those are a few things that's happening right now. There's I think it's the Young Republicans committee fundraiser coming up on the 31st. So it's a few fundraisers that we have that's coming up.
So you want to do something in September?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Before your fundraising, and put that out there, promote that, and then still talk about, like, the potholes and stuff that you along the way.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many things people, when I speak to people, there are street lights that are out.
You make a note of all of that as you go along, right?
Yeah,
where the potholes are, where the street lights are out. What are you gonna do about the bear problem? You got mad bears up there, man.
Well, from my area where I live at, I've only seen a bear once.
That's one time too many for me, B.
Yeah, it walked. Well, I have a fence now, so before that, it was like, as soon as we put up our fence, the bear came through the neighborhood.
What?
So, yeah, we don't. I haven't seen a bear directly because my neighborhood is kind of clustered. It's a lot of houses in that area, so it's not a lot of open space. So the bears don't really come on my side where I live at. I know if you go down maybe a mile or so from where I live at, yeah, the bears. I went to take my son to school one morning, and the bear cut out right in front of me.
What?
The big one. Yeah, it's the second time where I was up close on it. It ran out in front of me. It looked at me and kept on going. I'm like, all right, as long as you keep going, I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna challenge you. But unfortunately, wildlife is wildlife. We living in wildlife's backyard.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, Ray. So it's been interesting. I learned a lot, and you informed me, and you filled us in, very on point with it. And I wish you the best, brother. And have you back, and send me some more pictures of the hood of your community.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Keep the bears. You know what I'm saying? To your wife had asked me before, do I have an open carry permit? You know what I'm saying? As far as like the with the bear situation. But I mean,
it depends on what you're doing. You're not doing any damage to a bear with a handgun. You leave the bear alone. Let him go. As he's going, you're going. The most you're gonna do is shoot it in the ground and make him and scare him off. But if he's attacking you, that handgun is doing nothing for you.
I heard that because he'll be up on you in a heartbeat. You won't even know it.
Yeah, so
You
some
see
people
what
think
Cameron
that it's
says.
the handgun is to save him. Yeah, you point it at the ground to scare him off. But if he's already in attack mode, you better run. Get some space between you and that bear.
Especially if you got a mama bear and she's worried about her. That ain't, you know. Karen is being a Karen talking about it here. Beer meat is good. See what I'm saying? You see how she getting down? She said, "I hear beer meat is good."
I
I heard
haven't
it's
ate
good
any
too.
exotic meat. I haven't. I've never had deer meat. I've heard people say deer, bear, raccoon, or I've never tried none of it. I'm okay. Alligator, no, I'm okay with that.
I know you got plenty of deer up there as well. No?
Oh yeah, my front yard is a family of about, I swear, it's about maybe 10 to 20 of them out there any given night.
Wow.
They use my yard as a bathroom.
Hmm. And like you said, that's the woods. That's bear and deer, and
Yeah,
you got raccoon. You got all that.
Yeah, I have skunk coming through my yard. You know, my kids sitting out there, and a whole family of skunk walked right through. They came right under my fence and walked through the backyard. Like what? It's
Yeah, my
unbelievable.
buddy.
Like I said, you know, when you live in the woods, this is what you're gonna get.
My buddy talked about tackle him, tackle the bear. Yeah,
He said
but
tickle him.
you can't.
I'm
That
not messing
tickle?
with that.
Yeah,
I'm not messing.
I thought he
I'm
meant
not even
tackle
trying to
him.
get that close.
Bison is awesome. Yeah, Karen eats all that exotic shit. Yeah, but it's all good.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
not
okay with
messing with none of that. But let me put all right. Say it out loud again where people can support at before we sign off.
it. Will. I can give my social medias. Both my I have a social media for Facebook, Instagram. It's of Ray Merriman for Town Council Ward 2 on both platforms. I'm eventually, when I get the time, is also get a TikTok with the same thing as I got the the younger kids telling me, the younger committee members telling me that I need to do a TikTok. So that's where you get the young vote. So I'm gonna open up a TikTok eventually. So yeah, but most of you, my page is on Ray Merriman for Town Council Ward 2.
Okay, great. It was a good spot, Ray. I appreciated you. You, like I said, you are very informative, very articulate, and it's a good thing. It's beautiful, man, and safe streets, strong neighborhoods, and did I get that right?
Yeah.
Strong neighborhoods. Okay, so that, and what do you want to leave us with?
Well, I would say this to anybody who's looking at it: is if you're living in my ward and I'm knocking on your door, I'm open to for you to get to know me. Take a time to talk to me, and I would like you to get to know me, so that you feel like that when you give your vote, you're giving your vote to somebody and not just to a person on a ballot. And just that's important. That's important to me. It's just the people that I vote for me get to know who I am and just not see me as another politician. That's not what I'm running on.
I feel you. I hear you. Yeah, man. So let's say that would leave you on that note. Let me see. Somebody's making a comment before we close it out. And you see the link up there. He told you his pages and his particulars along those lines. Cameron says, good interview it was. And I thank you, Ray. So we'll pick up, we'll do a follow up. And yo, man, that's what's up. I wish you the best. Stay on that campaign. Look out for them bears. Look out for Yogi, and Boo Boo. Yogi, ain't there, Boo Boo. Yeah,
You
Ray
know,
Merriman.
I thank you for taking the time and giving me over an hour of your time. I appreciate
No
that
doubt.
because you helping me get my voice out.
Yeah. And listen, you care. You care about your community. It's obvious. You went out there and fixed the pothole yourself, and you running in the beds, man. You dodging,
I'm running
you
away from
shaking and
this.
baking. That's what the shaking.
I'm not
No
running into
doubt.
him.
But that's what's up, man. I know that's right. But I know this picture here before when you first started your Navy career. And what was your rank here?
In the Navy,
What was
I
your
was there.
Yeah.
That was boot camp. That picture's from boot camp. I
You look
had a
like you're
lot of
12
pictures.
years old. You look like you're 12, yeah, on your way at 13. Kid, man.
Yeah, but believe it
Still
or not,
got that young face, no
I was
doubt.
28 there. I was 28 there when I took that
Nah,
picture.
not Ray. Listen,
Actually,
Ray,
27. I joined it. I
we
turned
had a nice
28.
little chat. Ray. You don't have to lie to me, okay? This is me.
Nah,
Ray,
yeah, I joined the Navy. I was
you ain't got to
27.
lie to me. This is me. Wow. Damn.
Yeah. And
They just mess with you
when
at how
I got
young
out,
you look, right?
huh? When I got out as an E5. I made E5. Normally, a lot of people, especially in the rate that I was in, it took, I've seen a lot of people take maybe 5 to 10 years to make E5. I did it in 2.5. But that was also,
Okay.
I had a good mentor. I haven't been able to find this guy to let him know the effect he had on my naval career. I've been looking for him. He was Chief Randolph, and when I used to go on a cruise, I never really slept when we were out to sea. So what he did one day is he pulled me to the side and he was like, "Hey man, you're not sleeping," and he hit me this thick book. And at the time, I was an E3. At the time, he was like, "Take this book, just walk around the ship, and get all of these things signed off." So I was like, I first, I brushed it off. We got 6 months out here. The first 2 weeks, I looked at the book. I was like, yeah, I'll get to it. After 2 weeks of looking at the book, I finally took it. Because he came to me. He was like, "Did you even look at that book?" And I was honest with him. I'm like, "No." He's like, "I encourage you." He's like, "You don't understand what it'll do for your career." So with that understanding, I looked at him and I'm like, this guy, I'm not going to be ignorant to what he's trying to teach me. So I took over the 6 months. I got that whole book signed off. I ended up getting what they call an enlisted surface warfare pin. You have to learn the ship from the bow to the stern, and
the top to the bottom, yeah,
the front to the back,
front to the back. Okay, all right.
You had to learn the whole ship. I went through and learned everything about the ship that book needed me to learn, and I had to take a written test and 2 verbal tests. On my last verbal test, Chief Randolph found out that I was taking my verbal test, and he stood there the whole time while I went in for my test. He waited outside, and when I came out, he went inside, and he went inside. He talked for a few minutes. He came out. He looked at me, and he just walked away. So I'm like, "Oh man, I done messed this up," and he didn't want to let me know that I made it. He wanted me to learn for myself that I made it. And I made that. I got that pin before I could even wear it. Because you had to be an E4 or better. So I had to wait like 2 months before I could even put it on. So I ended up, and it helped me because when it counted to when I took my test for E4, it was points that was added to my test for knowing that stuff. 2, I'm a good test taker, you know. And when I initially, when I started doing doing that book, I had people in my division that were telling me, why would you even do that book when you don't know your rate? See, a lot of them didn't even know. Just because you didn't see me doing what you thought I needed to be doing, I was actually doing it. But I was also learning something on the outside.
Okay.
So when I took the test, they were surprised that I got my E-Swiss pin. They were also surprised that both times I passed the test on the first try. So,
no doubt,
you know,
no doubt.
It was a lot of people that he believed in me. He believed that I can do it. It was a lot of people who believed in it that I couldn't. And, you know, I always wanted to thank him for even believing the fact that I could even make it that far. Because unfortunately, you know, there are some people that don't want to see you make it regardless.
What was his name again?
His name was Chief Randolph.
What was his name again?
Chief Randolph.
Chief Randolph. You're still looking for him.
Yep. I've been looking to thank him.
But you see what Karen said about that picture, right?
What?
You still looking, you see what Karen said, right? He probably still got caught it. Laugh out loud at that when you were at that picture.
Not anymore with the gray hairs.
you probably did. No, not but I'm saying with that picture, back then.
Oh, yeah, I was.
They were caught you.
I was.
Nobody believed that you was 28 years old. No doubt, you were getting caught.
Yeah, my first,
you know,
my first time out of boot camp, we had went to my friends. We had went to a club at Ocean City, and they took my ID and wouldn't give it back to me because they thought it was fake.
Yeah, they thought it was fake. Look at you, B. Come on, man.
I actually had to get a cop to get my ID back, show him my driver's license, and show him that it was real because they didn't want to take my they didn't believe my driver's license or that military ID was real.
Yeah. Yeah. So good looking at quest of trying to run down that your superior. And you know, listen, you never know, you know, how things work out. Word might get to him, he might reach back out to you, but yeah. So, you know, but we'll see you.
He was a real mentor, you know. He's one of the people that, you know, that where I strive to be there. Anybody that works with me, I want you to understand if we working together, I got your back. If I could teach you something, I'm gonna teach it. If we, you know, if I could learn from you, I'm okay with learning from you because, you know, sometimes somebody younger could teach you something that you don't know, you know. And a lot of times we get older and we think we got it all in the bag, and a young kid could come along and teach us something we didn't know, you know.
Facts.
And
that's real.
You know, and we gotta be, you know, we gotta be open to that. And like I said, this guy was a mentor. He's a mentor that, you know, the whole military as a whole needs mentors like that. You know, unfortunately, some people don't have that attitude. Like I said, he's the one that changed my whole perspective on the military.
No doubt. So he made it a good experience for you, and that was that's a good deal. That's what's up.
He had me ready to. I was towards my last year. I was ready. My last few months, I was ready to re-enlist. And my first few years, I was like, after these years is up, I'm done. But he had me, you know, to the point where I was ready to re-enlist. Unfortunately, he had superiors that didn't like the idea of how I was re-enlisted. You know, because I had an XO asked me that my ship was about to go on a deployment. They needed me for the deployment. So me and my XO made a deal. I wanted to get into computers. He says to me, if you do the 6 month deployment, I'll get you whatever class of computers that you want to do. And all I need from you is to do the 6 month deployment and re-enlist. And I was actually going to do it. Unfortunately, I had superiors. It was like,
So
they didn't like how it was being done. They didn't
and
think that I should have got that kind of deal to re-enlist. So they told me, if you plan on re-enlisting, we're gonna make the 6-month deployment hell for you.
look forward to the next. Thank you again, brother. Like I said, now I don't know town that's in Orange County. We'll do more. We'll follow up. I said we were freezing. I don't know if like what was being said was heard.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it then.
Yeah, because we had a good spot, a good shot, and like I was saying, we'll do a follow up, and we'll go from there. It was a beautiful thing, man. And send me the pictures and stuff of some of the the hoods, any concerns or whatever. But we'll talk more on it,
Yeah.
And no doubt. Ray Merriman, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
And all the best.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. No doubt. You're welcome, brother. God bless. Have a good night.
God bless you too.
Thank you. That was Ray Merriman. I want to close it out and say look for the follow posting. And that was good. That was good. I learned a lot. And some dude, he was saying that broke off with $40 million, but that's some other story. There's corruption everywhere, and there's only so much we can do about that. And Ray Merriman, that's his posted there. That's the Town Council Ward 2, Safe Streets and Strong Neighborhood. That's his platform. And hey, we're gonna get up out of here. And I'll look for. I got some cousin. I got a cousin. I had a death in the family recently. Everybody's going through their trials and tribulations, and it was unexpected death. My uncle Nell. I love you, man. God bless you. I hope everything is good for you, brother. And I miss my uncle already, but yeah, so I'm going through that. We all grew up in the same house together. Mama, my grandmother, Big Mama, she had 9 kids and, the grandkids and stuff like that all throughout the house and raising a big family. And, so along those lines, I took some time off and came back. I still got some adjustments to make, with this thing. I'll get it together. I'll figure it out. And, get that together. But I started the new season off right, I feel, with Ray. Ray, a lot of information, and he's qualified. He, has an understanding of what's going on in his community because it's his community. He's been there. He said 21 years, in that region, messing with them bears and stuff. And, but when you're up there, it's peaceful, it's quiet. You have an understanding of what's going on and stuff like that. But then all of a sudden a bear, I've never been confronted. While I play football, I've seen some bears out there, some big dudes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a real life bear. And some bears, like 300 pounds. Well, that you said that's not. But he's all muscle and beat, and they can run, they can move. Alexa, how fast does a bear run?
Bears can sprint up to roughly 35 miles per
Damn.
hour, with grizzlies reaching the fastest speeds.
Shit.
Black bears hitting 30 to 35 mile per hour, and polar bears about 25 mile per hour.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Happy to help with the bear facts.
Could I outrun a bear? And she didn't want to answer that. But yeah, Lady Miss said there's something wrong with the audio. Yeah, we figured that out, lady. I thank you. My partner says George teaches me all the time. Au contraire, partner. You put mad knowledge into my dome. It goes back and forth. So it's all good. But yes, indeed. Interested. Ray Merriman, huh? And then so a lot of that I haven't seen in a long time. James Perkins, Perk, Lot, Cameron, partner, Lady Miss. I love him. Thank you all. And have a good night until the next show, until the next one, y'all. Peace. Ray Merriman from Town Council. Stay safe, y'all. God bless you all. Get it. Yo.